high always gets sucked into the low. The low is suction. Yeah? Make sense? And basically, the wing gets sucked up, and that's why you have the lift. The faster the airplane goes, the more of the difference pressure between the high and the low, which gives you more lift. When you get too slow, what happens is this pressure and this pressure start getting more closer to the same, and there's no more difference in the pressure, and the wing just loses lift. It just drops. Yeah? All right.
Now you go in front the video.
The arrow that I did last time.
Oh wow, that's a beauty, boy. Oh man, what's the cruise speed on that?
I don't remember even.
Like 170 so?
Around that.
Yeah.
Depends on your altitude.
Nice, nice. I thought I saw that on auction. I thought I saw that one on auction.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, okay. Pre-flight. Now you boy. Now you're good up to fly.
You coming too?
Yeah.
How much you weigh, Ryan? Roughly. It must be like 120. 110? It's probably like 110.
I weigh 120. How much I was on the front side of the time? 120 something?
I don't remember.
I was like 125.
What?
So
125 what? Pounds? Not pounds.
No.
Kilos.
No, that can't be. You're not 125.
Nah, that can't be.
That's pounds.
That-
No. Then I 72.
Kilos.
72 kilos. I mean, me and you weigh the same. Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to be less than that. She probably weighs about 63 kilos. That's about 100, and you're probably like 145, 150 pounds. And you,
100 what? 45? Nah.
less,
so heavy?
Like 120 pounds.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't my weight.
Alright, let me see.
But my bones are heavier than yours.
And we full of fuel inside, right? That's
It's not
why.
full. I flew it already for like 36 minutes,
Minutes?
so
Okay.
we burned some fuel.
It's a nice little plane, man. She clean, boy.
Yeah, it's a very good plane. I wouldn't fly a plane that's not in perfect.
I know that. I know that. You was very particular when I flew with you, boy.
We flew together?
Yeah, Juliana.
When did we fly together?
I have it in my logbook.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
It's a long
Yeah, it's a long time ago, man. We actually went to Sistacia. Did touch and go.
Really?
Some maneuvers. Yeah.
That's long ago in
Yeah.
the Cherokee.
Yeah, your Cherokee,
In
yeah.
my Cherokee.
Yeah.
I've been here a long time. 20 something years. Start reading it. Okay, so every airplane must have a certain document on board. A stands for airworthiness certificate. Check it. It should say the kind of airplane it is. It means if the airplane was airworthy, then it came out of the factory. But you will determine if it's airworthy today. Okay? Then the R from the arrow stands for registration. That's this document. Okay? Airworthiness certificate must be displayed always at every cabin, every aircraft. Next time you go on an airline, when you walk in through the door from the jetway, turn around. When you walk in the airplane on the jet, turn your whole body around and look up or look to the side. You'll see one of these displays. Okay? Radio station license. I'm sorry, registration. The next R is the radio station license. Right here, and it's good until, can't read it, 2019?
It was printed, it was expires 2020.
2029, sorry. Making sure. Alright, then what else? After the R, the two R's, O is the operating handbook. Every operating handbook must be in the aircraft at all times. There it is. It's around here somewhere. Operating handbook. It's for this make and model. It's a 1971 172. Okay? Stick that over here. If you see something broken or ripped or bent or something like that, you don't fly. You report it. You see what the situation is. The antenna is secure. This is the antenna for the emergency locator transmitter. There's a box, it's an orange box that sits in the back here. If the airplane receives an impact of I think it's like 4 or 5 Gs, it sends I don't remember exactly the number. I'd have to check, but it sends a signal. Goes to satellite, it goes, everybody will be alarmed. On 121.5 megahertz, we'll hear like a woo, 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 where they would pinpoint the location and they find exactly where the airplane is. Okay. Here, just check all your rivets, and you want to physically touch it because your hand will be able to feel if there's any problems. What else? Next.
Left stabilizer and elevator.
This is your stabilizer right here. You just physically put your hand on it, go ahead, and feel all along its leading edge. Feel it. See a little bit of corrosion developing over here. Got to get this thing fixed. And look at the rivets. Make sure the rivets are all in. Let those pop. The screws are in. This is in. The vertical stabilizer looks okay. Yep. Keep reading.
Vertical stabilizer and rudder.
We just check the vertical stabilizer. Let's walk around here. You see the wing tip, the stabilizer tip. Make sure the screws are in. Also look underneath. Make sure there's no damage underneath. Nothing scraped over here. Okay. We're gonna get closer. Come on this side. Look over here for a nut and bolt. Bolt that goes through, not there. Same thing here. Nut and bolt. And here, it's connected with 4 bolts right here. When you pull on the control inside, it's pulling this up and down. And they're connected with cables. Don't worry about that. There's a cable up on top and underneath. There's another cable right there, so you just check the condition, make sure it's on. This is the rudder, and it's hooked up to cables too. Notice that they put the nut here, they put a cotter pin through it so the nut can't unravel during the flight. Underneath here, look inside here, come underneath. Look inside, make sure everything's okay. Never ever stick your hands in there unless you're holding it up with one hand, and then you can put your hands inside. Or if somebody else is on the other side and pushes down on it, there go your fingers. Ouch. Yeah, not very pleasant. Okay, so let me come around over here. This thing is designed to be like this. Leave it bent like that. It's made for that. And then we do the same thing on this side. Looking at the cable here. Looking at the cable right there. Get a good close-up look. See the nut and bolts go through there that hold the elevator up. Okay? And everything is tied with safety wire. If there's no cotter pin, there's a safety wire. That means they tied the bolt. The bolts have a hole through it. They put this thin wire through it, and they take it around, they twist it and tie it up. So this way, this cannot undo. This way it stays secure. The bolt can't get loose.
How often do they grease the lines? How often do they grease the...
I don't know. Well, every time it goes through inspection or through a service, it's supposed to grease it.
Oh, okay.
It can use a little bit of grease. It's a little bit dry if you ask me. Okay, here, this is the trim. There's a bolt that goes through it, a nut here, and a cotter pin that goes through it. And if you look at the trim, there's a little bit of a splitting over there. I fixed that. Okay. There should be a little bit of slack. Feel it. No, not that one. On the tab. A little bit of slack. Okay, remember they're not strong on the ground. Look how thin the metal is. Very, very thin. They're like almost paper thin. but it's strong in the air. Okay? These are static wicks. Lets the static electricity escape off the aircraft. Here, the same thing. Look for the nut and bolts. Don't be afraid of it. Get close. This thing has a little bit of a twist to it. I can't get my hand in there, but this thing can twist a little bit, as you'll see. Yeah, it does twist. If you look on top, go look through on the top. See, I can get it to twist a little bit. That's normal. Can you see or not?
Yeah.
That's normal. Okay, you want it to twist. Okay. Another nut and bolt. So you have 3 nuts and bolts on the hinges for the elevator, and you have the main connection over there. Check your tip of the elevator and the tip of the stabilizer. It's just plastic, so you want to make sure that it's not broken. How could something like this break? When the airplane was sitting, somebody could come and hit it.
Yep.
With a fuel truck, car, another airplane, it happens, especially here on Grand Pass. It happened to me in my Cherokee in Juliana once. A jet once hit my wing and they took off. They left. Fire guys saw, the fire station guys saw what happened. They told me about it. They wrote down the number. Tracked the airplane down in Brazil, in Sao Paulo.
Wow.
They paid, but it took a while to get the money out of them. They were down in Brazil, but they paid. They got the airplane fixed.
Wow.
Come around, check your leading edge, feel it with your hand. Just pass over it like this. These are inspection covers. You pull these off, they make them so the covers come off. So if you want to check inside to make sure the cables are correct, wiring are good, that's what they're for. Just make sure the inspection covers are on. Underneath, here's another inspection cover down over here. Okay? And on this side, look at the empennage, fuselage, just check the rivets conditions, the vertical stabilizer on this side. That antenna is a navigation antenna, VOR. Looks like the shape of a V. It has one coming on this side and has the other, look on the other side. See? Shape of a V. Let's always remember it's a VOR antenna for navigation. Okay, let's move along this way.
Tail tie down.
It's not tied down.
Gust lock.
There's no gust lock.
Right stabilizer and elevator.
Done that.
Twin tab.
Done that.
Right side fuselage.
Just doing that now.
Right flap.
Right flap, that's this right here. Go over the flap. There should be a little bit of leeway in the flap. Feel it. Pull on that one. Yeah, that's the way it should feel. Feel it again so you remember the way it feels. That's normal. Okay, if it gets really too much or if it's too tight, not good. It should be a little bit like that.
Right aileron.
Okay, on the flap, let's look over here. Make sure that it's on the track. This thing should have a twist to it. Try to twist it. Yeah, not normal. That's what you want it to do. See, on the track, there's a roller up there as well. You see there's a nut and bolt that goes through it. You could see these have been replaced recently. That bolt looks relatively fresh. Okay, and on this side, just want to make sure the inspection covers are on here. Thank you. Okay, and the skin, the rivets are not popped, everything looks good, yeah? Everything looks pretty good. What else? Aileron? Okay, so your aileron is held by 3 hinges. There's a nut and bolt. There's 4 nut and bolts for each hand. So you go up there, feel them, put your hand up there. See that? There's a screw there, one here. Next one, yeah, next one there. And now look underneath. Never, remember I showed you, pull it up, push it up. Go ahead, push. Now hold it up there, sorry, I'm sorry. Hold it, and now you'll check with the other hand. You point out. There's 4 nuts. Now these nuts are lock nuts. They don't have the cotter pins that go through them. But take a look at the hinge itself. That wire that goes through the whole thing, the pin that goes through the whole thing, it's a little tiny pin over there and a little tiny pin over there. Keeps the thing in the center of the hinge from sliding out, so it doesn't fall out in flight. Okay, now walk your way down this side. Remember, always keep your hand holding it up firmly so nobody comes on the other side and moves it, because if you move this side, the other side moves as well.
Yeah.
And over here, you're going to check to make sure that turns. Yeah, good. 4 nuts. Check 4. Cotter pins in place. Yeah. And the last one. Now this one has a different kind of pin. Look how they did this one. This one comes over here and they made this go underneath, it wraps underneath that nut. So it still cannot escape. But it's still 4 nuts, 4 lock nuts. And here you remember, you have to remember that there are 3 counterweights. 1, 2, 3. They're lead weights. They just add stabilization. Good. Come on this side. Pull it down now. Gently. And you know, the 4 screws opposite of every nut. 4 screws, feel them. Touch. Yeah. And the last one on the other side. Again. All right. Okay. 1, 2. That's your wingtip. Good shape. Looks a bit flat, but it's good. Not going to affect the airplane. Leading edge. You want to put your hand and walk down the plane, feeling it all the way down. This way, if there's something wrong with it, if your eye didn't catch it, your hand will catch it. Okay? Take a look at your checklist. Where are we at now?
Right wingtip. Leading edge.
That was that. This is the leading edge. Done that. That's a check.
Wingtip down.
Wingtip what?
Down. Wing tie down.
Wing tie
Oh.
down. It's not tied. If it was, it would be hooked over here to the ground.
Tie it and
Okay, so let's check the tire. So you want to get down over here and just look at the tread of the tire. It's not bad. And over here, your brakes. You can't see the brake pad because it has a cover. There's a fairing over it, but you can see the brake caliper. There's hydraulics that goes through this tube into here. Just make sure there's no leaks. If there's a leak, you'd notice it. It's kind of sticky. It's like a red fluid. Looks like automatic transmission fluid for a car. Okay? Alright, watch your head when you grab. What else?
fuel quantity.
There's no fuel strainer? Not yet? Okay, fuel quantity. Go ahead and climb up. Here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Go ahead, you can do it. I'll help you. I know, it's not hard. It's hard to do it. Yeah, you'll be able to handle it. Keep trying.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Open up the fuel cap. Yeah, and look inside.
You got it open?
Yes, you got it. You can see?
Yeah.
How high is it?
High.
How high is it from the top? How much space is there? It's pretty full, you would say, right? Okay. Can I close it? Make sure it's snug. I'm going to check it after you just to make sure.
Yeah.
Just jump down.
Yeah, just jump down. That's
Yeah.
what I do. Here. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, what else?
Windshield.
So windshield, there's no cracks, it's clean, no scratches, no bird droppings. You want to have a clean windscreen, okay?
Right wing sump drain.
Okay, so just like we tested the fuel on the other wing, there's a tank on this side too, so you're going to take a sample from here, the same way. What color are you looking for?
Blue.
Blue. That's good. Looks blue? Good. You can dump it. That's your head. Okay, what else?
Engine oil level.
Oil here. So this opens up, just push the button like that. It's open. Look over here. See over here? Just twist it. It's not tight. It's very loose. You never make it tight. Just turn it. Pull it out.
Let me hold that for you.
And I don't take the whole thing all the way out, otherwise it leaks and makes a mess. And I'm looking for the level of the oil. Okay, so you see like a 6 or an 8 somewhere in this thing. Where is it? Yeah, so the oil is above the 6. It's good. It doesn't burn any oil or leak any. Okay. And when you make it tight, let's see, show you, tighten that up again. You tighten it. That unloosens it. That not tight. Just not too tight. Less. Let me see. Yeah, about like how you had it. Now, the next one is the fuel sump. Where are we? That's
strainer.
is that where we're up to right now? Where are we up to? Fuel strainer. Right over here. Look inside. You see like a square kind of knob. Yellow. You see it? Oh, it's right here. Give me your hand. Feel right there. You feel that? Pull on that. Watch out. It's gonna pee. That's it. That's good. It's the same thing as fuel. Now make sure you push that all the way back in, so it doesn't. Let's make sure it doesn't stay partially out. Otherwise, it'll always leak fuel. That's good. Okay. Never touch this after the airplane just ran because it'd be burning hot. But if the engine's cool, you want to make sure it's secure. That's the exhaust pipe. What else you got there?
Right cowling.
That's the right cowling. Just make sure that all the screws are in, right? And look down here. That's your strut. You should have about 4 fingers. 4 fingers is a good height for it. So you put your hand just up to it. You don't have to actually touch it. It's kind of greasy. But 4 fingers is pretty good. I'll give you a red finger. And but I cleaned it before, so it's relatively clean. But we always try to make sure they're clean. It's better.
Explain why that's important.
Because if you're not clean, dust sticks to it. And overall, when the dust, this thing is always moving up and down when you're driving, right? When you're on the ground, when you're taxiing, if there's dust on it, then the dust starts damaging the seal inside. And eventually, they'll start leaking and it'll collapse. That's why shocks go bad on cars and on bikes and so on, because people don't clean them. They don't have the boots on them, for all different reasons. This here is a shimmy dampener. It's another kind of shock absorber, but it keeps it from vibrating, the steering. So it just kind of keeps it. They have them on the Jeep as well. The Jeep Wranglers have these. This is the steering mechanism. When you push on the right pedal, this pushes that down. It pulls this and the wheel turns right. You understand? When you push on the left pedal, the opposite happens. Okay? That's the steering system. Yeah?
The car basically.
Basically. It's like a go-kart. Basically. It's a sardine can with wings. That's what I call it. Okay, watch your head. What else?
No strut and wheel.
No strut wheel, we just did that.
Yeah,
And the tire, we can look at the tire. The tire has tread on it, so the tire looks okay. Take the chocks out with the tire. We'll put them inside the plane. Ready before we go?
Propeller.
The prop. So don't use your hand, like the skin of your hand, to touch the prop. You want to feel the blade to make sure there's no cracks, but use your fingernail. So just run your fingernail like this, and you can actually feel every nick and crack. Feel it, because it will get, the blade gets chipped up because there's gravel on the ground, little pebbles, and it damages the blade. And every now and then the prop has to come off. They send it back to the factory. They file it down. If there's like really serious chips in it, they'll fill it up. They'll weld and fill it in with metal, aluminium, and then finish the surface again, then paint it, and they put it back on the plane. They have to balance it and all that. It's a big procedure. Very expensive. Okay, then you have over here inside, you have the alternator right here that creates electricity, right, to run the radios, charge the battery, lights, and you have a belt right here. See the belt? This belt, you should be able to twist it 90 degrees. Try. Halfway between the two pulleys. If you could bend it more than 90 degrees, it's too loose. If you can't bend it, it's too tight. That's perfectly adjusted. It bends exactly 90 degrees between the 2 points. Make sure there's no bird nests in here, no rats, mice. Rats love to eat the wires.
Oh yeah.
So I'll tell you
Oh
that.
yeah.
They love that stuff. It's their favorite feast. This side is clear, no bird nests. That's how we keep the covers on the pencils. This, you have to check the blade on this side. Check that. Okay, and the spinner. This is called the spinner. Make sure there's no cracks on it. Looks pretty good. Looks good to me. And you can check from behind. Sometimes you develop cracks from behind it. It's just good to keep an idea. Okay, it's good. Let me find a rag.
I have a thing to wipe your hand if you want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Check the
Air filters.
Air filter. It's the air filter and the air intake. You want to make sure it's not covered up, because if it's covered up, the airplane can't breathe. If it can't breathe, if it doesn't have air, the engine's not going to run. Although there is an alternate air source, but that's with the carburetor heat on. But it doesn't run as well with the carburetor heat. So it's hot air.
The front of engine.
Front of engine, we checked. No bird nest, nothing like that. The spinner is good.
Left cowling.
Left cowling. Everything's good. All the screws are in. There's nothing to really do.
Left side no strut and wheel.
Left side, no strut. We checked the strut. The wheel is good.
Under fuselage.
Check underneath the fuselage. Underneath here. Just make sure if the engine was leaking oil, you'd have a greasy mess underneath you. You would know about it. So you want to be careful. Watch your back when you get out.
A static port.
That's right here. Never touch this with your hands. These oils on your fingers will stick to it, and then the dust sticks to it, and then it'll get clogged. This is the point. This is that little pinhole. That's how it measures the pressure for the altimeter. It tells you how high you are. It also goes to work with the airspeed indicator too.
Yeah, very important.
And the vertical speed indicator.
Windshield.
Just check this side of the windscreen. It's all good.
Left fuel quantity.
Left fuel quantity. Climb up on this wing. Check inside. Same way you did. You want me to hold that? You good? Just gotta get some momentum.
You gotta get the momentum going.
Just like I did.
There
you go.
Got it?
This is good.
You gotta train them up from young, eh? You getting problems? Okay.
This one probably has a little bit less on the other side.
Yeah.
This, for some reason, even though it's set to both, it always pulls more out of the left wing than the right wing.
What could cause that? It's gravity fed, right?
That's right, it's gravity fed.
Yeah. So it's probably an imbalance somehow.
Yeah, somewhere. Or maybe I was making a lot of left turns. The top of the wing looks good. Okay, what else?
Left wing leading edge.
So the same thing you check the other side, it's a repeat. Go down the whole wing, check everything. This is the pitot tube. Never touch this either. That little pinhole, the air goes through it, and it measures the airspeed. It goes through a little like propeller, and it spins up, and the airspeed indicator shows you how fast you're going. And there's a little drain down here, and there's a little drain in the back, so if water goes in there or something like that. Is there one in the back? Can't see it. Yeah, there's two. One there, one there. And the pitot heat, the switch in there for the pitot heat, that'll heat this thing up to make it hot. So if we're flying through ice and snow, turn that on so it doesn't freeze. So if it freezes and water is inside, we don't know how fast we're going. If we don't know how fast we're going, that's a very serious problem.
Yep.
Because we need to know that at all times.
Yep.
So the pitot heat will melt the ice. So heat is getting ice.
So speed is life in the aircraft.
That pitot tube, that's this.
Left wing
Not like that. That's this right here. So basically, if we sucked on it, it'll make a horn inside the plane. When you're flying and you increase the critical angle of attack, where it's not going to get lift anymore, the way the air hits this, it'll create a suction and it'll make an alarm in the plane. So walk down, never touch the wing. Yeah, don't walk all the way down. Check your wingtip. It looks good. No dents, nothing broken. And then read on.
left aileron.
Aileron, the same thing you're going to check. You remember from what I showed you the other side? So do the same thing. Let's see. Now, never stick your hands in there unless you hold it up with one hand.
Give me.
You have 4 of them.
Alright. And how many weights? Where are the weights? Yeah, no, the weights. The lead weights, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Lead weights.
those are
Okay.
They have 4 of them, and this has to be able to twist.
Twist it a little bit.
Don't worry, I got
Okay.
something to wipe your hands.
Is it very tight?
I can't twist it.
Oh, your hands are oily. Yeah, it twists. That's good.
And we have 4 of them.
Yeah, good. Okay, then the flap. What are you checking on the flap?
That is lined up.
Yeah, but you have to look at it this way as well. All angles. And then the roller is on the track there. What else?
This.
The control rod. So you twist it back. See that one? It slides. It's on the track. Both tracks. And the roller's on top. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And now let's get underneath the other side. And then set the this angle. Inspection covers are on. Condition is all good. Yeah. And the top of the other one. Go backtrack a little bit. 4 screws. 4 screws. 4 screws. And you checked also the pins. There were pins that went through everything, and there were cotter pins at the end. Yeah, come and take a look at this. See the pin that goes through it? There's a pin right there, a cotter pin there, and a cotter pin there. And over here, this one is the type that goes, the pin goes around, but they made a curve around, and it goes underneath that nut, so it cannot come out. And the same thing over here. Yeah? Okay. That's it. Where's your checklist?
There you go.
What else? Again. It's okay. Let me see how you have it there. Yeah, it's great. Keep it loose for now. First, we're going to move your chair all the way forward. So, hold on. There's a lever right here with your left hand. Go. Lift it up and up. Put yourself over. All the way. So put these pedals up. Okay, and now let the chair lock in place. It's locked. Now make your seatbelt snug. Very snug across your lap. That's it. Good. You can reach the pedals. Let me see. Press on the right pedal. And now press with your foot all the way down, not the toe, not the tips. There you go, all the way down. Okay, so when you're pushing the pedal like that, left and right, that makes the front wheel steer right and left. It also makes the rudder in the back turn right and left. But when you're pressing your toes down, it creates brakes. That's the right brake and left brake. You want to relatively, when you're normally moving, to use both brakes smoothly together. If you're in a really tight corner, you want to really steer more to the right, then you can use a little bit of right brake. It'll steer more sharp, more sharp. That's the right word. Okay.
Tight. Yeah. A tighter turn.
A tighter turn. Thank you. Here, this is your shoulder harness. So that connects to. Look at that. Put it in the center part, and now slide it back that way. And then bring it like this. Okay. Yeah? Okay, when the door is closed, take a look. When the door is closed, it'll be locked, it'll be like this. To unlock the door, you're gonna bring it like this. To open it, you're gonna reach it like that. There's a window here as well, alright? In case of an emergency, when the door doesn't open, if you tried it like that, these windows are just acrylic. You just take your feet and go boom, and they'll just pop right out. Okay? And also it opens like this as well. Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna leave it unlocked right now so I can close the door. Responsibility as pilot on command to make sure all your passengers have their seatbelts on. And is the seatbelt on good? Nope. That's bad. Yeah. It's got to be snug across his lap, not on your belly. Lap.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Belly is dangerous. Lap is healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know how to get out of the airplane in case of anything? When the door is locked, you'll have access to this. It'll be latched like that. To open it, it's like this, and then like that. Yeah? And the window as well. This window doesn't open.
Okay.
But they just pop out.
Pop out.
Oh, they'll pop out.
Okay.
They're just acrylic. Even the windscreen.
Nice.
The seats.
Seats adjusted and locked. Your seat is already locked and adjusted. I already made sure of that.
Safety belts and harnesses.
What's this? Safety belts and harness. Shoulder harness. That's this.
Fuel selector valve.
So check. Field selector valves right here. You want to don't just look at it. Touch it with your hands. Physically touch it and make sure it's on both. So it's on both. Physically always touch everything.
Boy, leg room in here is beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Better than American Airlines, man.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Keep going. Don't stop.
Avionics power switch.
We don't have one, remember?
Electrical equipment
What about it?
has to be off.
Okay, so everything's off, 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 off. Sorry. And that's, we won't even know until it's on. Take that out of here.
Yeah, so you're a bit short there. Can I see?
That's for the iPad.
Brakes.
So brakes, you're gonna hold with your feet. It's evenly together. See how I do with my brakes? So if I want to make a right turn, my feet, if I'm normally flying around and just on the ground, my feet are further down and my toes are on the bottom of the pedals. Right turn, left turn, right turn, left turn. That's how you steer the airplane. When you want to stop, to bring your feet up, brakes, or right brake, left brake. But we do it together. Otherwise, if you only hit the right brake, the airplane will go. It'll spin around like a wheelchair. So keep them smooth, yeah. Okay, just hold the brakes while we're starting the engine. This is what we're doing now.
Circuit breakers.
So we don't have fuses, we have circuit breakers. Just physically touch them all, make sure they're in. This one looks like it's out, but it's actually in. And on top too, you have more on top. Just make sure they're all in. Okay, and those are fuses. Okay.
Mixture.
Mixture is right here. Make sure that goes full rich. That means you're going to put it all the way in towards the wall, towards the firewall. Push it in. Yeah, that's it.
Carburetor heat.
That's the carburetor heat. It's cold, so that should be all the way in.
Anti-collision lights on.
That's that switch there. Turn that on. Yeah.
The throttle.
This is the throttle. This is how you add power. So we're going to pump it like 2 times. Like that, and then we're gonna just crack it a little bit, like a smidget. Not even a centimeter. I'm gonna kind of tighten it a little bit so there's a little bit more friction on there. Then what else?
Primer.
We're not gonna use a primer, it's left. Check it now.
Master switch.
Use the right side of the master switch for the battery. There you go. Right, nobody's in front. Take the key in the ignition. Right. Okay, keep going. Checklist.
Propeller area.
So you have to yell out clear.
Ignition switch.
Oh, no, you
Yell
have to
clear.
open the window and say clear.
Open up the window and yell out clear.
In case somebody's walking around in here that you're starting the plane.
So just yell clear.
Yeah, clear prop.
Clear.
Yeah, just like that. Make sure there's no goats, chickens, dogs, people. And now start the engine. Put your right hand, put this on your lap. Put your right hand on the throttle, like that. Left hand on the key. Turn the key until it starts. And then when it starts, you're gonna let go.
Let go of this.
Turn the key to the right.